Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tuesday, September 10th, 6 p.m., Town of Grand Rapids Municipal Building. First item on our agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Maybe a silent moment for the victims of 9/11. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 2, approved agenda for the meeting. Hearing nothing, item...
Just hang on. Thing on approval, under number, the one where I'm asking for the law, I wish to take that off the agenda and not have any discussion. I'm not going to be able to go. Number 12.
We'll just table the item then. Okay, that's removed. We also, as long as we're doing that, we will remove item 16. I'll move to table that when we get to it because nothing happened. All right, approved minutes from August. Yeah, let me get to October, huh? August 13th, 2019 Town Board meeting. What's your pleasure?
Make a motion to approve August 13th as presented.
Motion Patty, second Andrew. Hearing no discussion. All in favor say aye. I'm an aye. Any opposed? No opposed. I forgot to announce that Supervisor Paulson is unavailable this evening and excused. And Chief Pyatt will be here when he gets the fire truck back. All right, so moving on to item 4, a public comment period. Anybody in the audience wishing to address the board, limited to 2 minutes each. Public comment period will not exceed the total of 30 minutes. If you wish to speak, and name and address and municipality if you're not from Grand Rapids. Anybody wishing to speak? Go ahead, Wayne.
We're having our annual
Announce your name, please, and address.
Wayne Brody, 11120 90th Street,
Thank you. Go ahead.
Town of Grant.
Mhm.
I'm here from the ATV Club. We're having our benefit ride on Saturday, and it includes going into Kellner. And I am here to ask, we got permission from Saratoga to run 52nd Street and Mill Street, because they opened all the roads, but they're not signed yet, so they're gonna give us permission to use that road for an hour. And I would like to know if I could get permission to use county line from the gas station to the tip-up on your side of the road, because the other side is open, from about, I'm gonna say from between 3 and 4, it'd be probably 15 minutes to go down there, and then when we come back, we're on the other side, which is legal to run.
Okay. I cannot answer your comment because this is public comment period.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. So is there any other public motion to comment this evening? Hearing none, we'll go into regular comment, or regular meeting, and I may be able to address your question at the later if you care to stay. Aye, we're moving to monthly reports of, as I indicated, Chief Pyatt will be a little delayed, so we'll have the fire and safety meeting when he gets here. We'll then call Chief of Police Mel Peterson up for your monthly report, sir.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay. I used to go on first like this. Usually
Yeah, I
Bob's
got
up
you all
there.
messed up.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. So, okay, for the month of August 2019, the Grand Rapids Police Department handled 448 calls for service compared to 462 calls for service in last year, 2018, about a 3% decrease in calls. Once again, the town board member should have a breakdown of those calls. The police department issued 75 traffic citations, 5 municipal ordinance citations, and 47 written warnings during the month of August. I was invited by State Senator Patrick Tessin to attend a press conference in Madison on August 20th, 2019, introducing new proposed legislation to end elder abuse. This press conference highlighted proposed legislation addressing elder abuse by increasing awareness within financial institutions to combat financial exploitation, expediting criminal proceedings when the victim is an elder person, preserving testimony when the victim is an elder person, and increasing penalty for crimes committed against the elderly. Introduction of this legislation is a proactive approach to combating elder abuse, our most vulnerable population. On August 22nd, Sergeant Drinkwine attended the 2019 Law Enforcement Recognition Luncheon at the Wilderness Resort in the Wisconsin Dells. This luncheon was sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation's Bureau of Transportation Safety, referred to as BOTS, recognizing agencies that have participated in traffic safety initiatives in the past year through various BOTS programs. By participating in these enforcement activities and submitting pertinent information, we were eligible to be considered for equipment drawings funded by BOTS. This equipment is provided to law enforcement agencies for the purpose of conducting ongoing high-visibility enforcement activities within their jurisdictions to improve traffic safety. The Grand Rapids Auxiliary assisted with the Corvettes of the North car cruise on August 3rd. Their primary duties during that car cruise was traffic direction at a couple of the major intersections. The vehicles in the department are doing well outside of normal routine maintenance. And once again, if anybody ever has any questions or wants to chat, my door is always open. Thank you.
Any questions for the chief? Andrew?
Real quick, in regards to the BOTS or the Department of Transportation, do we get any grant funding from them? Or has that been awarded, or do we know?
During that luncheon, no, we were shut out.
Okay,
So unfortunately, we didn't get anything, so, but we were in attendance, and if they would have called our name, we would have.
yeah, and my understanding is, just so people know, you have to actually attend that to be awarded, right?
That's correct, yeah.
So,
You have to
was
have-
it something we went to, we would have not even had the chance at it, right?
Exactly, right.
You plan on continuing to do that next year to see if we can get it?
Absolutely, yeah. We've done it every year since I've been here, so we'll continue to do it. One of these years, we gotta get lucky and get something, so.
When's the last time we've had that grant, you know? I know we've gotten it in the past.
2 years ago?
Okay.
So I think the word I've been hearing is there, some of that funding has been cut back a little bit, so the money that used to be out there, say, 3 or 4 years ago, isn't as much as it has been in previously, so.
That's all I have.
Any other questions? If not, thank you very much, chief.
Nope, we have a question.
May I just make a comment
Yes, go ahead.
on the car cruise for the Corvettes of the North? You guys did an awesome job, and we were part of the car cruise. Awesome, awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for your safety and your help. It was great.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Great job.
Thanks.
We love those good comments once in a while.
Well,
We get it.
Thank you.
No, I should say that. We always get comments. Amy Cook, are you ready for some numbers for the treasurer's report?
Good evening.
Evening.
For the month of August, current month receipts were $397,845. Current month disbursements were $214,736, with cash on hand at the end of the month of $1,237,965, with $105,362 in checking, $842,756 in the repo account, and $321,065 in the money market. Any questions?
How is personal property taxes coming in? Are they all in?
They are all in.
Oh, thank you. And no questions, thank you very much. We'll move on to item 6, then we'll come back to Mr. Pyatt, Chief Pyatt, when he arrives. Hearing Cassidy McClellan's appeal for the town board denial of her operator license request. Is that you? Okay. And obviously you're aware that the board followed the chief's direction as to why they denied it. Is there something that you wish to speak on your behalf about? You may go ahead.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
I think that it just, I just wanted it to be taken more in consideration that, the charges that I have are, over 3 years old now. I'm 22, I just turned 22, and actually, the charge that I think is the worst, I got when I was 17. I most definitely don't do much at all besides going to work and taking my daughter to school. And it's made it kind of difficult at work to work around it now since I can't be there by myself. I know it's made things hard for Sarah.
And Cassidy joined our team
And
back
your
in.
name, please,
Oh, I'm
Sarah.
sorry, my name is Sarah Cherney, and I'm the manager of the
Thank you,
store.
Sarah.
You're welcome. So Cassidy joined our team back in March of 2018. She was at our Saratoga location at the time when she was hired. She held a liquor license the entire duration in the town of Saratoga. We moved her over to Grand Rapids to advance her into the next position, which would be the crew leader position. And at that time is when we found out that her liquor license was denied. And she's done everything we could have asked her to do in the time that she's been with us. She's demonstrated nothing but responsibility while she's been with us. And as she mentioned, she was an adolescent or somewhat adolescent when these charges occurred, and she hasn't gotten in any trouble since then. So I was just hoping there would be some way that we could possibly get an exception to get her approved for her liquor license for the town of Grand Rapids, even if it's only a provisional to see if she does okay for 6 months. Anything would be appreciated, any consideration.
All right, is there any other information you want to present?
No.
Board members, go ahead.
Oh, yes, I've sat on this board a number of years, and we have given out trials and for a certain length of time. I don't know if we get a recommendation from the police chief on that, or I just can't remember. I know we got the denial, but
We, I think, I can recall one time when individual appealed and we granted his license, and it didn't work out so well in the end, I'll just say that, okay? And we just visited this ordinance, I think if you just recall, just recently regarding some of these issues, okay? And I think the town board, if you recall, you know, there was a reason we went with the 5 years and with the wording that we did. So, you know, it's, I guess, you know, as the appeal process, I guess you have that final say if you want to override that. But there is one incident, I think, that will be over 5 years old coming up here in October. But there's still 3 other ones out there, so.
Okay, Patty, anything?
I was just trying to recall the wording or the verbiage of that ordinance that we spoke about, just, and I can't recall that off the top of my head. Was it to the effect that the probation period was of 5 years?
Do you have my denial letter there?
right on
Yeah,
top of
I
it.
do.
In my denial letter, I take that right out of the ordinance.
So we're at the bottom of number 3, there are 2 offenses in the last.
5 years.
Okay, yeah.
Andrew, anything?
I have a tendency to lean towards our ordinance in this. I've not been on the board when we've made any exceptions. I know we've discussed these ordinances at length. We have, in this case, looking at technically 4 violations in a 5-year period of time, which is reflected on. I do believe that the first one, is falling off soon. and probably isn't even as much so considered to be substantially related to the licensing activity, which we do talk about also in our ordinance. The other three, I think, are related to the licensing activity, or potentially could be. We don't know the circumstances of them specifically, but the two of them are specifically. So I guess it would be my opinion to remain with our ordinance as it states, and I would encourage you, as they are going to be falling off, to reapply moving forward. I'm glad to hear things are going well, but my personal belief on it is, we still have to stick with our ordinance that we have created, and if we allow variances to come in through the door, where do we draw the line? We created ordinance for a reason, I guess, and I'm in belief that we should maintain that.
Is there any other comments? I guess my comments fall along the line of Andrew, and I'm sorry to say that, but I'm not in favor of a
Change. Is there a motion for or against? Anybody?
Was that your motion?
Yeah, the chair can make a motion. I'll make a motion to deny it for reasons as it doesn't fit within our ordinance.
I will second that.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Sorry we can't help you. But
Did I ask it?
We encourage you to keep doing the right thing and come back, and when they'll start to fall off and we're not in violation of our ordinance, then obviously it shouldn't be an issue. So.
All right, the next few items are resolutions, and we'll go through these rather quickly, but just for the public's knowledge, most of these came through our legislative committee, which we are all members. They're vetted there. They're written by our attorney, and these are the final okays for these ordinances or changes to go into effect. So the first one is considerable possible action on resolution 2019-15 to amend ordinance 13 prohibiting certain activities made crimes under Wisconsin statutes and adding the verbiage related to use of storage facilities for residential use purposes.
I will make a motion to approve resolution 2019-15.
I'll second.
Motion by Bill, seconded by Patty. Any discussion? And basically what this is, folks, is we're recognizing that some people are using storage facilities to sleep in, and we find that not meeting all the codes of our town, and we're making it in our language of our ordinance that it's not legal. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye. Any opposed? No opposed. Item 8, consider possible action on resolution 2019-16 to amend ordinance 39, schedule of fees, adding a fee for mobile tower siting.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2019-16 for ordinance 39.
Andrew? And Patty? Any discussion?
Yes, I'd like to just ask the question, is this a yearly thing that happens, or is this people with new sightings?
New sightings.
New sightings, thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, call for the motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye. Any opposed? No opposed. Item 9, consider possible action on revised zoning permit application, adding the verbiage for mobile home siting fee. In other words, our form did not have that on because we didn't ask for it, so it is now added to it, so we just need to approve the new application form.
I'll make
Or
a
mobile
motion.
tower
Tower
siting.
siting.
You said mobile home, sorry.
Mobile tower.
That's close.
Yeah.
It's close.
Mobile.
Halfway there.
I'll make a motion to approve that
Second.
change.
Motion Patty, second Bill.
Question.
Andy?
Just clarification too, it's not real clear on the form, the application fee, and then it talks about, it is only the 125 for the mobile tower and not the 50, correct?
Yes.
It's, okay, and I get, the way I read it, I guess it's somewhat, is it both of them or is it not?
No.
Does anybody else struggle with that, or is it?
I just glanced at the number and said, yeah, that's the right
Okay.
number we're looking for.
It's the right number, I just didn't know if it's
Right, I see what you're trying to say is like maybe a square box in front of it or
kind of
something
like,
to
yeah,
differentiate.
just to kind of illustrate that the $50 application fee is
Yeah.
also not on top of the 125.
Correct.
Mhm. Right, it's only the 125.
Yeah, which is what we had discussed in legislative, I
Yes,
just wanted to make sure it
correct.
was the same.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, well, let's see, we
We need to vote on that.
need a vote, yeah, thank you. Motion has been made by who and who again? Patty and Bill. Thank you, I didn't write that down. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, any opposed? Thank you. Item 10 is consideration and possible action on the volunteer activities policy and registration waiver forms, waivers. This again was drafted numerous times at our legislative committee. The results are what we hope to be clear definition of what volunteers, activities, and how they are covered. Any questions on it? I guess there's a motion first and.
Make a motion to approve the volunteer activities policy and registration waiver.
Motion Patty, second Arnie for discussion.
Just one thing.
Go ahead.
In
Andrew.
regards to the background investigation, I assume we'll do that here locally. It talks about, I don't know why we didn't discuss this, and maybe we did, and I just didn't take note of it. In regards to the police department's gonna be conducting the background, so there shouldn't be any fees associated with that.
Right.
It talks about fees associated. And then how are we going to, I mean, I assume everybody will know this is going on. Are we gonna put something out to employees, or at least are you gonna let the employees know if they need a background, of how they're gonna go about to do that, to get the right paperwork to Mel, or?
Well, this is just for volunteers, though.
Yep.
Are you referring to like for auxiliary or?
Well, no, it talks about doing a background check for volunteers. But it talks about the person that's coordinating them, or the supervisor for them.
Yeah.
Yes, once these are all approved, personnel will send, Dan will send out something to all the employees with
Okay.
all of everything that was approved tonight.
Yeah, for example, as you recall, if the fire department has volunteers helping park the cars or whatever, whoever that supervisor of that event is the charge of the foreman.
Yep.
We'll proceed on the,
Just so the fire chief is aware that,
Yep.
we gotta be doing this.
yep. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. I'm an aye. Item 11, consider possible action, proposed coin acceptance policy. That's related to the paying of fines with coins, et cetera, or permits.
To approve that policy.
Second.
Motion Bill, second Andrew, any discussion?
And that's so somebody can't drop off 10,000 pennies to pay their taxes.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Kind of amazing they don't have that in place already.
And a lot of municipalities, villages, cities have this very same type of ordinance, so it's nothing that we're a standalone for that.
We'll take silver dollars.
Well, you will, huh?
Yeah.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, any opposed? Item 11 was withdrawn. Item 13.
No,
Consider.
number 12 was withdrawn.
12 was
Yeah.
withdrawn, and we're on number 13 then.
Correct.
Consider a possible action and offer Kubishek's attending, the Wisconsin State Crime Lab Symposium in Wisconsin Dells, October 28th through 29th, 2019.
I'll make a motion to approve the training for Cam.
I'll second that.
Motion by Andrew, seconded by Bill. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, any opposed? No opposed. We're on 14, consider possible action on list of items to be placed on Wisconsin surplus auction site. We have that pretty well listed here. Will be Rick's truck. The chief has a laptop or so. We have used tires that came off of fire trucks that'll be available, and some miscellaneous accessories.
Yep, and some miscellaneous squad equipment, and then fire departments.
Yeah, we have some 2250 gauge pressure SCBA fire apparatus. I guess that's the long and short, breathing apparatus. That's the term I was looking for. And we're all at a higher, all our other units are at higher now, so these were in conflict when they get charged, that if you put in the undersized cylinder and you still had it set at the full size, it would blow the seal off.
Oh, Lord. How many are those?
I believe we have 4.
There's 4 and then 6.
Extra bottles?
replacement Extra tanks.
Yep.
Okay, so 4 apparatuses and 6
4
tanks?
complete.
Well, there's 10 tanks, the 4 complete, and
Oh.
then the extra 6 that are just the tanks.
Roger.
And they're all in compliance.
Okay, and then tires, you said, and what did the tires come from?
They're off of one of the tanker trucks and I believe one of the engines. They're fire truck tires that are aged at 10 years.
Okay.
So they're used tires that had to be replaced because of age.
On discussion. So is this going to be a policy now, whenever any department in town of Grand Rapids puts something on a surplus sale, it has to come before the board?
Yeah. It's all, it's, no matter whether it's they.
I don't know where that's written.
There is not a written policy, that's just.
Because
I think-
know
That's
that to
just
go
a
on
good
there
thing.
and not come before the board. So I think we're dealing with a policy here also.
Well, if it isn't on our policy, we'll certainly get it to be that, but it's been the concern, or the ownership of the item is the town. Indirectly, if it was maintenance departments or whatever, it was still owned by the town. And if we go to get rid of it, we have to follow the procedures that's in our ordinance, and we have it in our ordinance.
If we want to sell a fire truck because we got a new one,
Right.
that has to come before the board?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Okay. In regards to the fire truck tires, you said they're aged, they're over 10 years. I think that was, I mean, I'm okay with putting these on the website, but I think I just read somewhere in the Wisconsin Towns Association book, maybe like last month, that the state of Wisconsin removed that aging of tires.
Well, the state may have, but we're running under the federal regulations.
Okay.
She kind of wants to hear it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, so, you know, I'm okay with adding them.
Yeah, it's a federal rule that the NFPA standards are to remove it, and we follow the standards to the best of our ability.
Okay,
We would love to leave them on, because they're only barely wore.
exactly. So I think that's why they've removed that stipulation for a lot of rural communities. because
I'll make a
it's-
motion to approve the sale.
Second.
Motion bills, he cut you off, didn't he?
Yeah, you sure did. Thanks, Bill.
They weren't hearing you anyway, so.
Motion by Bill, seconded by Andrew, to add the list of items to the surplus list, and we'll get it on the list and get it published, and we'll have it back to the board for final consideration after it comes off the auction. Item, all in favor, say aye. All, any opposed? Thank you. 15, considerable possible action on supplemental road grants and possible projects to consider. As you are well aware, the states came up with $75 million extra money, of which the towns are available for 29 million, I believe it is, not to exceed 3 million in total or less than 50,000 in minimums.
And one of the most important things is this, if you have a project, 90% of it will be paid by the state and 10%
Right. The
by the min-
items that I've been in discussion with, so I did sit down with the County Highway Commissioner to get a little feedback from him. And I also met with Wood County Parks, Chad Schooley, I believe it's Schooley, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And we looked at the possibility of putting the second half section of South Park Road onto that as a grant because of safety. We pick up points for there. And what the parks would like to do, they have a 4-foot walkway along it right now, and they'd like it to be the normal width of 5 foot. So I mean, that would be one thing that we could consider for a viable project. No idea what the cost would be. There may be some additional work that our attorney would have to do, because when you look at the lot maps of that area, a lot of those lots on that area did not give up that extra footage that we need, so there would have to see if it's going to fit in the outline of the road to do it. But no work has been done, obviously, because we don't want to start on something that we have no idea whether we're going to put in for a bid request on.
So is this something that all of the town board members can meet to discuss? You know, maybe have a separate meeting to have all of our ideas to discuss.
We can have a special meeting if you prefer to do that. I just was throwing out ideas for you now, just to give you food for thought. One of the other, go ahead, Bill, you had a question?
Yeah, this was part of the conference that I was at today in our group. I don't know if it was in yours about this.
They touched on it.
And it's very important. It's on the internet also. And you have until 3 meetings on this. It's going to be September 30th, October 2nd, but it all has to be done by December 31st.
Right.
And, you know, and some of this stuff just came out yesterday, so, I mean, I think the whole board should be involved in this because this is a one-time shot where you can get up as much as $3 million for a project. And 90% of that's gonna be paid by the state, so.
And just one quick note, December 6th is the deadline.
I thought you were incorrect there, Bill, but I didn't have that number in front of me, but I know it was earlier than that. Initially, it talked about an earlier date, but then they apparently changed it. But that's an item of, we can work on getting a meeting scheduled up in the next 2 weeks if you wanna.
Let's do it.
Good.
And when the governor signed this, he took out that you shall attend one of these meetings in order to get it. And he changed the budget and put may. You may attend, which was good.
All right, so do we need a motion to call a special meeting?
I'll make a motion to have a special meeting just to discuss the opportunities for this road grant.
I'll second.
Motion Patty, second Andrew. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye. No opposed? Any opposed? No opposed. Item 17, we'll move the table. 16, I'll move the table.
All right, Arnie, I have a question. Ben P., 72nd Street North. We've talked about the road project on 72nd Street, paving it in the past. And the last update I had from you was approximately 2.5 years ago.
Well, I think we talked last year when you were also digging material out of there, and the decision was to wait till you were done building the pond to give the road the ability to thing. And then we also had talked that the guy was next across through was harvesting trees, and he was actually using the road to harvest them. So I mean, we just pushed it back simply because we didn't want to build a road and have.
Is it still under consideration?
Well, it's on our agenda, our list of projects to do. You haven't gone away from that, and can't speak for the rest of the board, but I believe that we will get to it when we're sure. And I mean, if we can know when you're done pulling material, it helps us, that way we can.
Okay, but is this road still gonna be built to state specs, which it really shouldn't interfere with what's done with what they haul in and out? You put your weight limits on in the spring of the year, correct?
Yeah.
So it really should not affect a project.
No, you understand that, but I understand that. But we've had cases where we just got done building the road and right away the gravel trucks are out there. And you can't run that on that fresh gravel road till
Well, what is your time period considered that they can't run on it? Are you talking a week, 7 days?
Well, it needs to get to, they typically tell you at an airport, when we do projects there, they tell us to wait 30 days from this.
Wait, now, when we pave a highway in the state of Wisconsin, we don't wait 30 days to drive on it, Arnie. We don't do that here.
Well.
Is that correct or wrong, you know?
I just say the discussion on this, we didn't approve or disapprove of anything on this.
No.
You know what I mean? We called for a special meeting, so this would be a good time, you know.
I mean, I'll consider it any time, but I was just waiting for you to tell us, and is it Ron, the other guy? Chet, I'm sorry, Chet, I had you mixed up with somebody else. When you were done with all the logging activities, or the greatest share, so that the road can get built and then it can have a chance to be solid enough and doesn't get tore up by coming off the sides of it.
Okay, I will get a hold of Mr. Bone and find out the projected date of completion.
That would be good.
I will get back to you and let you know.
We'll work on it then.
All right, thank you.
Okay. And then we'll move, we're at 16, here we go. Motion to table that because no action was taken at the airport. Is there a second? Andy, any discussion?
I would like to talk about it. I was at that meeting and it's something how that meeting turned out. And this is the second time we've tabled this. I don't know why you don't want to talk about it.
Well, I don't want to talk about it, Bill, if we don't have anything to talk about. The airport has not made a request to us to do anything, so why would we go through the motions of following up on it until we have something, a request? Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed?
I'm opposed.
Consider possible action on personnel committee's recommendation for revisions to the town board personnel policy, and I think, was there a little change there, Lisa, or some interpretation that you were?
Whatever you guys discussed at legislative,
Or was there not?
I think you had him, just a couple minor
Okay.
revisions that he did from,
No, yeah.
I'm trying
You
to
did
think
the
for
vaping
listening.
stuff?
Oh, he
Reintroduced the
added the
vaping
vaping.
language?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember from when I listened.
I don't, I thought that was the only thing I could recall where we really changed it. There might have been one or two other things.
There might have been one other small, just wording, but the vaping was the main thing he changed in here.
Okay. Your motion,
Make a motion to approve.
Bill, seconded by Andy.
Yeah.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and aye, any opposed? August disbursement vouchers, any questions on the vouchers? Bills. Operator license applications, any? Yeah, there is some. Just so you know, I will be abstaining. No voting?
Oh,
Any discussion?
Just a minute. I didn't get to read it all.
Did we
I'll
did we
move.
do a background check?
Wonder if the background check cleared.
All right, now be nice to me.
I'll make a motion to approve the 1 year for Norton Christopher, Bud's Corner Mart, Ernie Nystrom, Grand Rapids Lions Club, Clark Whitmer, the store, and the 2 year for Marilyn Christensen, Grand Rapids Lions Club.
Motion by
A second.
Eddie, seconded by Bill. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, any opposed? Oh, I can't vote, I'm sorry. Motion carried. And let's see. 20, consideration and possible action on upcoming Tuesday Reviews event. And Bill, you gave us a document, I believe.
Yes, we have a document, and I would like on number 5, it just says what we're going to do. And the Tuesday Reuse event, by the way, is going to happen on the 21st. And we want to have a meeting on the September, what do we have? 19th at 3:45 here, and we're going to be talking to some of our volunteers and going to assign duties and responsibilities and tell them what they have to do. And then on September 20th, we're not going to meet here, but we're also going to be meeting there. And I would like it just published that the committee is meeting, that this is not for per diem or anything like that. And that we're going to be meeting on the 21st also that day. It's because of a lawsuit that went through the state Supreme Court in Appleton versus the Board of Education. And Nick has sent me that, and I've also got it from the county. It just, when this is a 3-person committee, and when 3 of us get together, we should let the public know we're there for just gathering information purposes only.
I agree.
So that's what I
Okay,
just
so
wanted to do.
you want the 19th noted as being here?
Yes.
The 20th and the 21st as being at the event site?
Get the event site, because
Got
we'll be
that.
doing things.
Okay, anything else on that?
No, that's it. I thank you for putting that on the agenda.
Okay, we'll go to monthly reports from committees. We did not get one from Rick. I did not see him all day today. I was indisposed most of the day. But the road work that we were doing for the year is done, blacktopped. Part of the road, which Colth Avenue, has also been black dirt placed along the shoulders and raked and smoothed by the EG people, helped us. The other parts of them, those are being shouldered by Wood County as part of their quote for that project. Rick's truck is, the new rack for the lights on top is on. We're waiting on some wiring issues for flashing lights, and from then on, his truck will be ready to go whenever we'll take it out of service. Any questions on Public Works?
Of course, we probably haven't gotten all the receipts yet. When do you anticipate that we can see if there's any small projects that we can do?
Yes, we should have our totals figured out by the end of this month. Or, well, that might not get because of when they grade the road base.
Right.
But
Might be a
we'll have
little bit too late to-
we'll have a pretty close item. It might not be too late.
Okay.
All right, we'll go down and we'll go around the bottom. Plan Commission, you're meeting next week, correct? No?
We're
No.
actually.
Taking a week off?
Yeah, we didn't have anything except for the comprehensive plan to discuss, so if something comes up, we will definitely meet, but so far, nothing's come up for us to meet.
Can I ask a question on that comprehensive plan? Will all this stuff be done before the tax bills go out, or will there be something in the tax bills?
I'm not quite sure about
Oh.
that. It's the county, of course, is working on the survey, and that depends on if we have any more additions or deletions, and then it comes to the board, so.
I believe we're gonna have some, so if they don't want to make time for that so that we don't put you into
Right.
a deficit timeline that you do, but there's some ideas that was kicked around that I did
Okay.
hear. So maybe we can talk about that when we have a special road meeting or something.
Sure,
How's that?
sounds good.
Okay. Public safety, Andy, we didn't have a meeting?
Nothing, I've talked to both chiefs
Okay.
recently, and everything's smooth sailing right now, nothing really to meet about, no concerns or anything.
Okay. Towns Association meeting,
Yeah, Roland Hawk spoke at that. It was in the town of Hiles, and there was a lot of good information he had, and he's gonna put it together and invite the municipalities to it about road building and things like that. And then, and he talked about the different formulas for road construction, which I found to be very interesting. But a thing that come up at the Towns Association was some of the municipalities that have a park in it or have county forest land, they get a certain percentage in the county forest land of the stumpage fees and stuff like that. A small amount goes to back to the municipality. But the people were there to say that, why should they plow those roads? They're not used for anything. Why should they plow those roads if they go to the school forest, no, not the school forest, yeah, and go to the county forest and nobody lives on it, there's no houses down there, and the town don't think they should plow it because it's a town road, but what's on it is the end of the county. So that was referred to the county, to the Towns Association, in which it should be brought up as a Towns Association. So that's what's going to happen at Towns Association, is they're going to make that resolution.
are those municipalities receiving road aid on those roads?
You got that right.
Well, then, I think that's your answer.
Yeah, that's what I said there. There's only one municipality here, but in 2 other counties, I hear this at other meetings I'm at, are saying the same thing. So
Yeah.
that's it. In the next
If they want to take
meeting,
them off the road aids, period.
yeah, the next meeting of the Towns Association is going to be in the town of Lincoln up by Marshfield, and it's going to be on the 20th of September at
And who's the
7:30.
speaker? Do you recall?
It's on Wolves, I think, or are we talking about?
I got the wrong card here.
It's in my car, but I guess we're not going to take time to
Wolf
go get it.
population, I think.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to Airport Commission. I was unable to be there, being out of town also, but the airport's main project that was started this year, which was putting a parallel taxiway completely alongside of the main runway, was completed. It is got all the lights on it, the markings are on it, and we're still waiting for Rapids Power Company to hook the three-phase power up to it, which is scheduled to be about 4 weeks away from being when they'll be able to get at it. But it is being used in daytime activities, as pilots can see that the taxiway is there, and it directs them off, and it does increase the safety of the airport. Our new parking ramp last Sunday, from what I understand, was pretty close to being full with a whole bunch of jets coming and going, and large ones going on Sunday. So we're still waiting to start the new hangar project. The awarding of the contract has not been signed by the governor yet. We're still waiting his signature. Questions?
And then just, how much land was actually annexed or
3
taken from the
it's not
town?
yet.
Okay,
3.74 acres.
3.74 acres.
Mhm.
So the town of Grand Rapids is losing 3.74 acres to the
Yes.
city? Okay.
But
For
no-
the hangar, or
But no
for the
tax,
terminal?
but no tax base.
Right.
Public Buildings, Dan is not here to give us any updates, so Economic Development, Andy, are you
We have some.
rocking and rolling?
Yeah, we have some agenda items ready to go. We just gotta, Dan and I just gotta get a date dialed in to meet.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have some things to go over.
Recycling, solid waste, anything else, Bill?
Yes, just to let people know that we are having a choose to reuse this year. One of the main things is that it's going to be from 8 a.m. until noon. Usually it used to run later than that, but we're cutting it off at noon. And no items will be accepted after 11 a.m. Just to let you know, last year we had 394 cars come through and lots of stuff. Everything is pretty much in order. We'll have somebody there collecting electronics equipment. It'll be express recycling. We'll be doing that. They will be handling the money on that issue. So if you have any questions, you can call Patty or I or the town. They have these flyers, and we'll be getting these flyers out to a lot of places.
Legislative Committee, I guess the comments there, the results are in front of you for the most part, exception for one item that needs to go through a public hearing. It's a changing of a word, one word, in our zoning ordinance, and that requires a public hearing. So, Personnel Committee, did you guys meet, Andrew?
No, we have not.
No. Okay. Reports from individual board members. Is that the right order?
Sure.
Bill?
Yes. One thing, I'd like to thank the town for sending me to a conference that I went to today. It was very informative. There was a lot of people there at it. I have some paperwork, and I did bring back an extra copy of the material. But I thought it was very interesting, what is it, to put it on, the UW system is what puts those on now. But it was very well attended, and I appreciate it going, and I do have a lot of information. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Patty?
Nothing to report.
Nothing.
Nothing, Andy? Amy? Nothing? You're going to a FEMA meeting tomorrow, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
We'll see how that goes.
Yes.
Lisa?
Nothing there.
Okay. The only thing I got is I'll address the question of Mr. Brody in the back. Our ordinance is pretty specific that we don't allow any use of ATVs or UTVs on town roads. I don't believe that I have the authority to make a waiver for a one-time event. I believe the board could do though, but we don't have time to act upon that because we would need to have that in front of us, and I believe that's the only way we could consider it. So unfortunately, I have to say that I don't have the authority to make that, where Saratoga, they got all their roads open.
Not yet, their roads are, they signed the thing last month, Wednesday, to open them all, so the roads that they give me, 52nd Street and Mill Road is 1 mile. For the hour use, I gotta put a sign up and then take them back down, because they don't have their signs around the outside of their township, but their town board just give us the okay to use them streets
Yeah.
for that hour.
I understand what you're doing, but I just don't have the authority to do it. Public comment period, again, anybody in the audience wants to reiterate anything, you have up to 2 minutes to speak?
No, Mr. Bill, one more question on that recycling.
Sure.
What is the date?
September 21st, I'll give you a flyer.
Okay.
Friday or Saturday?
And
Saturday.
You're gonna meet Friday though.
do they do shredding of old, like paper?
No, but there's a bank that's doing that.
You got some money you want to get rid of?
No.
Yeah, I've been giving it to you guys.
Now, what about the old TVs? They don't want that either.
Oh, I'll give you a flyer. That's
Okay,
fine.
You
okay.
gotta pay to get rid of them though.
Okay,
They don't get
I
it.
know, but
Anybody else wish to speak in the audience?
Nope, we're
Oh,
good.
we need to get Mr. Chief Pyatt up here. What's your report?
He had somebody ring his phone so he wouldn't have to make that report.
Sorry, we were at the, doing at a charity event down in the town of Rome, doing a ball drop for the MDA golf outing, and they told us to be there and ready to go at 4:30, and they came out at 10 after 6 to do the ball drop. So, anyways, thanks for allowing me to come in late. We're currently staffed with 46 fire and EMS members, 4 non-structural firefighters, 6 EMS members for a total of 24 that are trained in EMS. We're always looking for good members for our fire department and EMS squad. If you're ever interested, stop by and see me at the fire station. Since the last report to the board, the department has responded to 30 calls for service compared to 30 this same time frame last year. Last year in 2018, we had 12 fire calls, 18 EMS. And this year this time frame, we had 23 EMS and 7 fire. So that's a 22% increase in EMS and 42% decrease in fire calls for this time frame last year. Our 7 calls for fire consisted 4 in Grand Rapids, 2 in Saratoga, and none in the town of Grant this time. 1 mutual aid with Wisconsin Rapids Fire. We had a 1050 car accident gas leak, PD assist for the accident reconstruction, structure/kitchen fire. We had 1 carbon monoxide and 2 false alarms. This last month for training, the EMR group continued on with their refresher down at United Ambulance through MSTC. For fire training, we did pump training, fill sites, and in the evening training, we did a simulated structure fire with water shuttle and the whole 9 yards. So other than that, other training, one of our firefighter, Camarada, he went on his own and completed certified fire investigator. So he's been working on that for a while. Last month, we held our regular department meeting, a department officer meeting, 2 fire department trainings, and 1 EMS training. For public relations last month, we sent several trucks to the Kellner Corn Fest Parade. We also attended the Touch Truck event, displaying several trucks and also setting up the landing zone for the Lifelink 3 medical helicopter to land at the Grand Rapids Lions Club. We still have our smoke detector program ongoing, our address sign program ongoing, and since the last report, there have been no injuries in the town.
That is just wonderful. Any questions for him?
Yeah, I just got to say about that touch truck. I went to that thing, man. I thought that was nice. Lots of kids there, lots
Super.
of activity.
Super, I was out of town that day, but yeah, the people, my members that went there really, I mean, they all would work it again next year if they do it again next year.
Yeah.
They really enjoyed it.
I just think the people that had the donation jar should have just been a little more, a little more available. You know, you had to go,
Sure.
You had to almost go look for them.
Okay.
I have one question.
Go ahead, Patty.
Did you have the final report then for the fireman's picnic?
Oh, he did just get that finalized the other day. I did not bring it over. I can certainly get it to you guys.
Why don't you scan it and then we'll email it out.
Perfect, okay,
That sounds good, thanks.
perfect. Anything else for me from?
No, you can Go 10:42 if you like.
All right, thank you.
All right, I lost my agenda. Was that was the motion to adjourn, I guess? Is that where we're at?
Yeah, we
did the public
kind of
input.
cut that off a little bit though.
Is there anybody else in the audience wishing to speak? Okay, then hearing none. The next agenda, we'll try to do a go-around on when we can get a meeting, and then motion to adjourn, number 25.
I'll make that motion.
Patty, Bill, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You're opposed. Thank you.